Hello and welcome back to a Phoenix Wright Attorney Dual Destinies. Well, last episode, we face off against Edgeworth one more time in order to prove Athena and Simon Blackwell innocent, and today we're going to be headed back into the courtroom to finish this fight. Hopefully. Oh yeah, also Apollo showed up because I don't know, nobody likes him. Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple, there isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past case, I'm talking about the present case. It's still not clear who killed Clay Taryn. But Apollo, why would you... Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. But this is a trial for the case from 7 years ago. Miss Blackwell, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Since you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Apollo, sure, you know I'm all for the truth. Well, let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Judge, I give my permission to continue with the trial.
Well, very well. Is that alright with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police's investigation report brought immediately.
Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. Very well, your opening statement, Police Prosecutor Edgeworth.
As you wish, let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Taryn. It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer, therefore the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in Boarding Lounge 1, when the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum. The killer attacked Mr. Taryn with the same knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, Director Joey Cosmo switched to the launch pads. After that, the culprit has exited the Space Museum and escaped via Boarding Lounge 2. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Taryn's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped to the Space Museum that day.
Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd better rearrange my evidence. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record. Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony, if you please.
I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Taryn. My growing suspicions were confirmed when the incriminating evidence presented itself. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launch pad to switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder.
Order on the court. Mr. Justice, you realize you are charging your own coworker with murder, don't you?
Yes, Your Honor, because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. But Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. I don't get it. What did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? Well, there aren't exactly any contradictions, so I'm gonna need a lot more information than what you've just been given. Or what you've given me. What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? I all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Taryn, my bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. And then, every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Paul must have been beside himself during that investigation. I didn't know what to do or think, I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew it wouldn't be any good in court, so I decided to wear an eye patch, so yup! Boom! Oh, I called that! I called that! Oh my god, that's so smart! I called it too! I called it! That's so smart, and that one single decision is chock full of so much more character development than the entirety of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, which is pathetic on the part of the last game, but incredible on the part of this game. So that's why Apollo was acting so strangely. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife was that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago. But that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Taryn. My bracelet could have also reacted to her because she knew she was his killer too. I guess he has a point. My bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with her fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. If that's so, go ahead and prove it then. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Taryn. 7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, sometimes people skill for motives we can't even imagine. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. I still can't believe this. How can you actually suspect Athena, Apollo? Isn't it possible that somebody else used that same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? Recall there's a security camera in boarding lounge 1 into the launch pad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Terran and Mr. Starbuck, but there's also another security camera in boarding lounge 2. It recorded Mr. Terran's kill, or rather Miss Sykes coming out of the Space Museum. A camera in boarding lounge 2, first effort, it makes sense. Then he said she snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out around until around noon the next day. In that case, most likely recorded the true culprit as well. Objection! That's negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. And the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes no longer appears. What? Why? Order on the court. That can't be, but if it isn't, it's incredibly incriminating. Was it you who proved in the previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the paths have been switched? A fact you previously proved to nuance here, leaving your client high and dry. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix Wright. Believing in your client and to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own coworker? You're probably right, maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. Oh, buddy, I learned that in the last game. However, I don't care, this case is special to me. Clay was my friend, and that's why I just have to know the truth. Paul suspected this trusted coworker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts. But I'll say it again, if Phoenix Wright isn't the murderer, then I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you got the concrete proof to knock down my arguments? Your arguments have been made very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? It looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect than the defendant. Unless... you think there was an alternative escape route? Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? The only way... the only thing I can even think that even kind of relates to that would be... do we have a photo of the leaf that we found? It doesn't look like... okay, we found leaves on the ground, and I don't know how... the only way they would have gotten in there... wait! Wait a minute here. This doesn't... I need a picture of the... okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So, if... right, so here's my thought process. They rotate, right? And when the things rotate around the building, there's that then leaves a gap between the connecting tunnel and the building and the launch pad itself, right? And in that disconnection, that exposes itself to outside, right? So that'd be how the leads got in there, and could also in turn be how the killer gets out. Right? Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape? Of course there was. I think that's the only thing it could possibly be. Yes, of course there must have been. Don't ask me what. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? Me? Bluff? No way. He knows me too well. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. As long as you can clear up this doubt inside me. Wait, so is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena, I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really, fully trust her. So that you can really trust me? It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant. While we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth. Precisely, and when this battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. That's exactly what trials are about, wouldn't you agree? Yes, I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me, so I decided I needed to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid. That's so like Apollo, always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good, because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. You're really hoping there was an alternative road, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. The director of Cosmos was at the sudden exit. leaving the only control room in the corridor of Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Come on, Mr. Wright, what do you think the culprit escaped? I think the culprit escaped through here when the building rotated. If we could just move the freaking... Okay, this hand is unresponsive as all hell. They really could have escaped to the corridor of the Space Museum. All they had to do was using unconscious Mr. Starry Sprints to get to the door.
Objection!
It appears all you're trying to establish is Miss guilt. If the culprit used that route, the only exit would have been the boarding lounge too. Nope. The logical conclusion of your argument is that the killer is none other than the defendant. No, false. That leads to the outside. The culprit escaping the corridor that leads to the Space Museum. That's true. The only way. No, wrong. Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the boarding lounge security camera. I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. The only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any other secret corridors or anything. So that leaves us with no conclusion to draw, but that the Sykes was the culprit. What can answer? Well, hold on a second. What if? Yep. There you go. Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? What if they were a clue to the culprit? Yep, I know. I figured it out already. Thanks. I think it is possible the culprit escaped into the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than the boarding lounge too. Oh? Launchpad 1 in the Space Museum corridor moving along the rail at the time, which is exactly what the alternate escape route opened up for our culprit. Are you kidding me? Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I think that you're serious. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Do tell. Why could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor besides the boarding lounge too? Just outside. Can I present like this area? Outside, I guess it would be over here, like, just anywhere outside is what I'm getting at. Like, you could have just left. Plus, we all investigating the museum corridor this afternoon, namely a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where the dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yes, I remember seeing some leaves myself. Oh, do you mean? Yep. While the Space Museum was in motion, found the corridor safety door was an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's dual escape route was the area outside the Space Center. Yo! Freaking insane! What else is new?
Objection!
You know how impossible that would be? The corridor is level with the 3rd floor. The culprit would try to leap out to the outside wall of the Space Center building. It would fall to their death. Not necessarily. There was an emergency ladder. You could have just, like, grabbed on the emergency ladder and climbed down. Ordinarily, yes, but after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. And what item was it exactly, Mr. White? Alright, this is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall of the main building.
Take that!
An emergency ladder? There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab, and it was used that day after the explosion to help evacuate people. Miss Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to the ground level. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched, and that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. And leapt onto the ladder! What? Who would have imagined? Order! Order in the court! Well, an alternative escape route seems to have emerged. Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right?
Objection!
Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we right? Your theory has no many holes and puts she's the same. Alright then, name one. I have here detailed information about the Space Center. According to this, the distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is for 20 feet. 20 feet? You're playing my leg, right? In addition, the corridor was 3 floors on the ground, roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place, an unstable ladder. How human beings feel fear? No, wrong. If you recall, the Phantom does not feel fear, so that is irrelevant. An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping. Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all. Not this one. This was not an ordinary person. But the culprit had just murdered somebody. The one in the orders. That's not the defense you go with there, Phoenix. But it is why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped the boarding lounge too.
Objection!
Because there was a security camera in boarding lounge too. The culprit knew they would be recorded.
Objection!
In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down, and then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened. That's a good point. But claim that, despite all this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap, and in the brief moment the corridor allowed to pass each other. Yeah, that's also a good point. No, Phoenix, this isn't hard. You know the Phantom's the one who did it, and the Phantom doesn't feel fear. Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth. The true couple of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you... Mr. Edgeworth's right, that does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have to be someone who feels no fear like a stuntman. Oh, wow. Gonna point it out blatantly to me again, right? Aha, I've got it this time. I can prove that there was someone who could have used this alternate escape route. Oh, can you now? This proves the possibility of a person who could have used the alternative escape route. That is not the, no, where is it? It's this. Subject's emotions rarely fluctuate and he doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. Boom. He cannot feel emotions. So, no. What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear? What? You can't be serious. Without the constraint of fear, he couldn't easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. This subject could make a 20-foot leap 50 feet up in the air. So you're saying that a person without fear, the alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance that they'd be spotted? It's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright. But was there such a person there at the scene? Yes. The Phantom, that mysterious shadowy figure keeps popping up. Oh dear! The Phantom again? I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing, but I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Terran! What? Ah! Order in this court. Order, I say. Mr. Wright, please continue. There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So then this Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be? Right, so this escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start. As restricting Director Cosmos switching the launch pads, the bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators on stairs unusable. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did. Yes, I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. Oh, I want to like detective leading the evacuation. No! There's no way! There's no goddamn way! Fulbright? The detective? Him? Bobby Fulbright. I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to do. What? That doesn't make any sense! What? The robotics lab wasn't the only room in the room that he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. So you mean, the Phantom must be someone who knew the picture lab was going to be used? That's right. Who could it be? Wait a minute. How the hell is it him? That's so out of left field. Did you figure it out right? Did you know who the Phantom is? Yes, I do. Who is it? Who killed Clay? Our mystery spy who knows the Phantom is f***ing somehow Bobby Fulbright. After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. I was on the 5th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. His objective was to secure his own escape route. lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. This is a detective you all know. He's even the elite detective on the current case. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotion.
Take that!
Which doesn't make any fucking sense at all. How in the hell could this guy be it? You said it yourself, he's an emotional... all he knows is emotion! That default is really known as the Phantom. What?!
Order required, Mr. Wright, how could this be?
That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue was that he made no attempt to have any of the ladder put to use. The ladder in this robotics lab is the only one allowed who wanted to be lowered. Second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. Verily, it was all part of a plan to create an escape route. A detective oversaw too that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab. He went to the lounge where he killed Clay Terran and escaped into the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so waited for the right time, got a running start. And just as the recorder was passing the ladder, he leapt onto it. Oh, I don't believe it. The autopathed detective did all that. Was it really him? I mean, all this time I thought... Sorry, we didn't catch your name. I'm Bobby Fulbright, the heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil. Champion of justice who comes running whenever you're in need. And my catchphrase? It's in justice we trust. Then, he's concerned for Simon. Was all just one big act? I thought I reformed Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. That monster killed Clay? He had me completely fooled. Apparently, that doesn't... What? Huh? For him to have wormed his way into the police department as well. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright.
Yes, I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The court will take a short recess and then Detective Wright will take the stand.
Oh boy. That's a mess. That's a mess of a reveal. There was absolutely no build-up to that at all. No foreshadowing whatsoever. No clues, no hints, no behavioral traits. Him? Detective Fulbright! Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did, Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. Apollo! Well, this is awkward. Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seeded doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that That was such a dope! I was really touched by what you did. Huh? Now what are you talking about? You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how can I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? You didn't have any trouble slapping you a second ago. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. Edgeworth. Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself, and they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. All Blackwell has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. So we've seen all the others? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do, so I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Miss Blackwell! I ain't come to apologize if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I didn't come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss Aura! She better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Hahaha. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Oh, bug off. No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Mrs. Killer down. Leave it to us. We'll get him. So I guess that means she's starting to trust us at least. Oh. Simon, I'm so glad you and the principal cleared of all suspicion. It's all thanks to me and my robots. You better be grateful. I never imagined you would go that far. Thought you were always extreme. I don't recall ever questioning your help. As close as ever, I see. Well, not even released a guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer.
I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me the death penalty. You know me all too well.
I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case.
Though because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the sticks just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Ola. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish.
I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that.
Ola.
Alright, it's enough of that. What Miss Blackwood did was inexcusable, but it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Yeah, neither can I. It doesn't make any sense at all. I can't believe he killed Clay.
Right, and murder my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Chief Prosecutor.
Yes?
I would ask a favor, which would allow me to stand on the prosecutor's bench for this trial. I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand.
That was my plan all along. After all, it's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in court.
Sir.
The formal paperwork is yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hand.
I'm much obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor, could you... Maybe it's a sense of freedom, but even the air seems fresher, the light brighter. And I will relish the slashing that background, and I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy.
I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. So we still got a trial to finish. It's okay to cry, Athena, I promise. Prosecutor Blackwell, Mr. Wright, please avenge Clay's death for me. What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me. I am? Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's the defendant. At least you, Apollo. But, are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything. Well, office is pretty short-handed and you're all I got. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Apollo! Athena, I can say it with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence, and now we're gonna prove it to the world. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it. See, that's the thing. Oh.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Right, because I'm fine now.
Now this is the Apollo that I set customized in the costume screen. Welcome back, Apollo. It's almost time for the trial to restart. But at least you have things well in hand. Yep. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things. Namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robot, and Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory, right? Now, if you'll excuse me. Okay, you all set to go? You bet I am. Let's do this! See, the characters have been the strongest part of this game, and this case, really. Story-wise... this is it, the final battle. The murder of Apollo's friend, the courtroom bombing incident. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. The Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. Let us now reconvene. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution's never been more ready.
You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted. Now that you mention it, although back then I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. Yeah, so did the rest of the world. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot. Surprisingly, he actually has. Well, there have been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well. He's still got that ego of his, though. Prosecutor Blackwell, with the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Oh, yes, I guess we can keep the chit-chat for later. Bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. Even with those handcuffs, our Prosecutor Blackwell seems to be pretty much the same. 7 years of criminals doesn't go away so easily, I guess. Ah! Bobby Fulbright here. I heard I was needed at the stand, so here I am.
Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony?
Yep, because there's only one reason I'd be called. And that is because it's time for justice. In justice we trust.
Objection!
You can't fool us with that act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, sure, I sometimes making mistakes, but hey. He's acting exactly the same as always. Tell me about it. He must be feeling awfully confident. No.
White, if you wish to dispel our suspicions, let's get to your testimony.
Alright, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? Then I can certainly do that.
Witness testimony.
I am the very embodiment of justice itself. I won't have you make me into a villain with such a far-fetched... Okay. Well, far-fetched would be robot overlord, robot uprising. But, no, the arguments we have are not far-fetched. Nice try.
So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false, and that the defendant is the real culprit?
That's right. Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto a ladder.
We don't have proof, you're correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either.
Ah, I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice just is.
Objection!
Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Nah, please don't look at me. Telling the Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him.
Let's try not to lose focus, alright?
My justice is crystal clear. What's not clear are your eyes. Wake up and smell the justice.
Silence!
Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. If you have enough even an ounce of justice, then you will answer the court's questions and prove it.
Prosecutor Blackwell? Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn.
Well, Fulbright was his partner after all. Prosecutor Blackwell was right. The truth will be revealed in cross-examination. The suspicions against Detective Void are at this point only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections?
That's fine, Your Honor. Ah, now I gas away and I don't hold back.
Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination.
See, if we just got Gumshoe back for this game, we wouldn't be having this problem. Anyway, they're not far-fetched.
Hold it!
My arguments are hardly
Yeah, but there's reasoning behind even tofu burger, but what we have against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning, but solid evidence. And it's called a lighter with Miss Sykes' fingerprints on the victim's blood. Yes, that's true, but wait.
If you are one of suspicions, I just asked you asked Fulbright, but don't know. Usually about that lighter.
He's right, what exactly should I ask about?
Well, if we ask about the number of prints, then we can see if it contradicts with this, right? Yeah, I'm guessing so.
So how many prints were found exactly?
3, the thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger on the right hand.
Your Honor, that is an important statement. Could we please have it?
Testimony, you got it!
He beat me to it.
Aha! Being investigating and testifying speed is the key!
Gotta go fast.
There are 3 prints around the lighter, the thumb, index, and the middle fingers of our right hand. Nope. Nope. Wrong, because this says the lighter was in the left hand.
Objection!
You say the prints were from her right hand, is that correct?
That's right, very clear prints.
But that just doesn't add up.
Huh? What doesn't add up?
According to Miss Blackwell, who saw the culprit herself, this person held the lighter in the left hand.
Oh?
So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints on the lighter from a right hand instead of a left?
Ah!
You're right, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Your Honor, the lighter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness's claims don't even hold water. Director Void, I hope you have a good explanation for this.
I just can't understand it. They're definitely right-hand prints. But then, why are they inconsistent with Miss Blackwell's statement? I've got it.
What have you got, Detective?
The mirror. The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror.
Go on.
Miss Blackwell was looking into the window of the large one, wasn't she?
I believe so.
If you mean the little window in the back and to the right of the room. That's right, and across the room on the opposite wall.
That mirror is a little bit behind the wall, so I'm gonna go with a no on that one. Yeah, no, that doesn't line up even in the slightest. As I see, in that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they?
Aha, now do you see? That's the logic of pure justice.
Objection!
But your argument is only conjecture. We don't have any proof that Miss Blackwell saw was deflection.
Silence!
Right, Dodo, you soon know Nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it.
Huh? Ah, that's right. Besides, the lighter couldn't have been involved in the left hand. And why not? Miss Blackwell said that she saw an earth emblem on the lighter, didn't she? That emblem was on only one side of the lighter. You're right, it's a little on the other side. Exactly, it's blanket smooth as his fine scalp. If the culprit had held the lighter in the left hand, it would have covered the emblem. Uh-oh. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick on with your thumb before lighting, so if the culprit had it left handed with the emblem not invisible, they would have been able to open it a little light it, but they had to deal with all means the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in the right hand. No, come back, beautiful contradiction.
Maybe we should paint a flower that bears no fruit.
Ah, see how it was before my flower of justice? He's tough, he managed to discredit almost everything I've proven up until this point. Just to be trust, now you see I'm not the phantom we'll be talking about. I mean, are you sure this really is a spy? I bet it is a figment of your imagination. Oh, it's so sad, so very sad, but I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, I believe you said that the emblem is on only one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see another emblem on both sides of the lighter? Ugh. Just when I thought we were in the clear, we weren't gonna have to perceive anymore. They just had to throw this into the ring, okay? Pardon me? You mean... Yes, my bracelet reacted to a statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big, and I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out.
Justice Dodo, are you using that sheet of yours again?
It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell.
Very well. Whether I like it or not, suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on then.
We have Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctance blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes, then. Detective, could you repeat the last name one more time? What are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say this many times you like. Listen carefully. The earth emblem is only on the side that you can see whether so... Okay. Time to perceive the lie. Alright. What's going on? Oh. You're fidgeting. Let me guess, I missed it. Yeah, it's not fidgeting anymore. Of course not. Of course not. And guess what we gotta do? We get to sit here and wait. Just sit here and wait for this freaking thing to loop back around, because the perceive ability is definitely not complete and undeniable garbage. It's definitely not a thing. Like, look at this. I just have to sit here and wait for it to loop back again. Why don't you just let me skip through like a regular freaking testimony? Okay, your hand's twitching. Watch it not even be right. And just wasted all the time for nothing. Detective, you might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase the earth emblem, your left thumb moves. And in fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster. Mr. Lawyer, I don't even have the foggiest notion of what you're talking about. Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. Well, why? You're not making any sense. You can't just...
Silence.
Be still as do as you are told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind having another look-see, should you?
What? Not you two, Prosecutor Blackwell.
I'm not sure what this is all about, but if Prosecutor Blackwell insists, it must be something important. I will allow the defense to examine the lighter.
Good, now maybe we'll learn something new.
I hope so. Let's check every inch of this thing. Okay, what are we checking? Oh, well, that's certainly a lot of blood. I can't... Okay, the fact that I can't move the hand, like, what? No, wrong. Oh my god. Can I please? I cannot move. I physically can't move the hand around. It's just stuck there. The point of contention is about the emblem, right? So this is the earth emblem the fellow was talking about. Is anything noteworthy? Huh? Hey, look at this. The emblem's actually coming a button. Oh, it's the gun with the .10 caliber bullet. Wow, it transformed into something. A handle, a trigger. Is that what I think it is?
There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun.
A what?
A gun. So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial when Director Cosmo was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small and be a .10 caliber. The little compact gun probably takes bullets off the caliber. It looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene.
I'm flabbergasted. The lighter was a gun?
So when the detective would touch his holster, that's right, whenever he mentioned the earth emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. A lighter that transforms into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. Not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly into the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. Ah, nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found in the Physics Museum, and then I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out.
Objection!
Whenever you mention the Earth Emblem, you touch your holster. You subconsciously did it because you knew it was a gun. I can tell you what, but where's your proof? Do you have any evidence that I knew it was a lighter of his gun? Not exactly. And whose prints are on it? My Sykes print. Yeah, but you could have manipulated that. You're the detective on the case. You could have manipulated that.
It would appear the detective is right.
Are you guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution side. The president Friday and the director comes in the knowledge of the incident, and the president of the Black was holding the lighter, and the president of Detective Mr. Taryn, and the president of the Civic Center. And all the defendant Athena Sykes, the printers are on the lighter as size of proof. No! Ah, now do you see? I mean, on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. And I think about this about some of Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair.
The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. You have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Evidence is everything, of course. Therefore, Full Wright's claims stand firm.
But, calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he's just saying that because he has to as the prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead.
Objection!
Say that, says the man who wears sunglasses at night. If it's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. I'll prove this lighter's not Miss Sykes, but yours! Sounds like you hit on something, Apollo. It's just, if the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena, I think we should reconsider the credibility. Yeah, you don't say. That's right, could be all part of. Yeah, exactly. Think of a few things. If we assume he's been laying a big trap for so long, there's gotta be something. Yeah, you don't say. To the owner of the prints. Are they really the Athena's fingerprints? They definitely match their print data. But what about the data itself? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who provided us the lighter and print data. Isn't that correct? Yes, what about it? You say Miss Sykes' prints match the print data, but I have to wonder, was this data you used official? Mr. Wright, are you suggesting that the evidence might have been fabricated? I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics.
Silence!
You are right. I lay my voice to the defense's request.
Very well then, bailiff. And it appears the official data is here.
And the results?
It's just as the defense claims. The proof is that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant.
Yes.
The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Taryn.
They were Claire's fingerprints on the lighter?
Oh, I see. Couldn't think of it. Wasn't it you, Full Wright, who collected the victim's prints?
I want to say if I removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all.
When you took the deceased's fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints in the letter with his blood. After which you wiped the blood off his hand.
Ah. By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data. I'll put the blame on Miss Sykes. This flow must have been to distract us from the Phantom who's behind everything. You were out to create the impression that the Phantom was the true culprit.
So does this mean Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom?
Remember the killer's escape route. No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Ah! Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route.
You are you really the Phantom? Answer me. Also, I will slash you just on its lips where you stand.
Alright, I'll talk. I can confess. I'm not the Phantom!
Silence!
It's all over. There'll be a man in the middle already.
But I'm not a spy! I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself.
Another undercover investigator? That sounds a lot less wholesome than me.
A person who hides as a identity and secretly investigates in order to recover information. And that's what you really are, Full Wright.
That's right. Even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him.
What?
Objection!
You're telling us this now? What if we're saying it's true? Then who was the mystery person Miss Blackwell in Starbucks? Oh. It was the Phantom, I tell you. All I did was help him by having that emergency letter lowered for him.
Objection!
I don't believe you. How do you explain the fabricated lighter? That was also one of the Phantom's demands. To being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Putting the crime into this was just another one of the Phantom's orders. And you expect me to buy that?
Full Wright, what's the Phantom's ultimate objective?
I was told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want to launch it must have given him the order. Actually, I have apologized to you too. The Phantom told me to get close to you. He wanted me to get back the psych profile you have on him.
So he sent a buzzard of his own to tell me this past year, did he?
I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil, and a pawn of the Phantom who stole the moon and rock and killed Darkseid 7 years ago.
Look, Fulbright, just tell us the Phantom's true identity.
I don't know, he was very careful to hide it. He asked us top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's never one is the one I'm dead. And people believe I was the Phantom. I could have been killed on the spot. Why? But even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. It's a case all about the Phantom after all.
With the scene blown off, I suppose you all vulnerable to a sniper shot in this courtroom.
Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like criminals. You really think he's gonna lie his way out of it now? But on the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. Wright, if we can't find a flaw in his logic. He's right, and after we come all this way, we can't let Fulbright wiggle free now.
There, I finally told the truth.
No, you didn't.
You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackwell. You believe me, right?
I believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom.
What? How can you say that, Prosecutor Blackwell? It's obvious he's the Phantom.
Silence.
Evidence is everything, right, don't you? And you must admit there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom.
What? As I recall, the only sole proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that the selected Fulbright was fabricated evidence. But
I've known Fulbright here for a year now, and all this time has been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie. This fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me. He went so out of his way in his efforts for me, I actually became quite a nuisance, really.
please tell me Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't really been taken by this big phony.
However, even if it was against your will, you still acted as the Phantom's accomplice. You will have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself on my mercy and don't you ever betray me again. Have you got that?
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Such a blunder trust is. Oh, come on, you're not really buying this. In any case, it looks like everything's been resolved. Like, no, we're not done here yet. We're not done. No. What are you doing, buddy? That's alright, we can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom and the man who killed would get away. I know, but what do I do? I don't have any proof that Detective Forward is the Phantom. Is he gonna get away just like that?
Now, excuse me, my next investigation awaits. And with that, I'm off! The defense. No, wait, not the defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict and would like to see this trial continue.
Well, what? But I'm just about to declare you innocent of all charges.
Doesn't feel right to just be standing here. Hey, Apollo, think you can scooch over? The shot. Oh my god. Apollo's just like, the fuck are you doing here?
Hope it get held in contempt of court.
As a question for you, Detective Fulbright, are you relieved that you're no longer under the suspicion of being the Phantom? Are you grateful to Detective Prosecutor Blackwell for what he's done for you? Of course I am, and I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart.
Athena, where are you going with these questions?
I have yet to hear a single emotion behind any of Detective Fulbright's words, boss. Suspicion against him has not been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all.
What does that mean?
We may not have any evidence, but the heart doesn't lie. That's it, with your special ability, we just might be able to stop him.
Yeah, but why would you be allowed to do this? You're literally the defendant. Yes, well, even before this, I thought he was rather odd fellow.
If he doesn't get counseling right away, who knows what might happen to him? Yeah.
Fulbright, I think you better have that counseling.
Not you too.
You've been making bad remarks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as you were an undercover investigator and your friend has been taken hostage. I think you might have finally lost it.
But I thought you believed me.
Silence.
And how you lose me soon.
What's going on here?
That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation just now, Simon.
I knew you would catch on, Athena.
Huh? Mind filling me in here? Hehe, guess we just left you in the dust, huh, Mr. Wright? Simon was only pretending to believe Dr. Fulbright because he knew I'd noticed that there was a lack of emotions like joy or relief in his response.
That's actually really clever. That's actually super smart.
Like, once again, the characters and the relationships they have are the best parts of this. But Fulbright is the villain? Really? Listen, I did to the voice of Detective Fulbright's heart. What? You two are working together just now?
Come now, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart.
You got it, time to check the instant replay. Widget, mon ami, let's do this. I mean, we're not supposed to find anything, right? There should be no emotions here, because he's the Phantom. No emotion, no emotion, no emotion. Still no emotion. Yeah, there's just no emotions. Even with all his over-the-top exertions and aggressions, there's no emotion at all. Just like I thought, in right line with the Phantom's psych profile. Thank you for me, this lack of emotion proves you're the Phantom. Oh! Little shit! Okay. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Wait, hold it. What do you think you're doing, detective? Me? I'm not doing anything. He's trying to hack into the Moon Matrix program. I can't do anything with it like this. Haha, get him, Taka. Ha ha ha.
Fancy to advise you out there, but I'll tolerate no cheating, thank you.
Ah, sorry about that. As an undercover agent, I tend to use my secret arsenal without even thinking. More like as a spy. Thanks, Prosecutor Blackwell. There, now you can't hack me anymore. I dare you to try to hide your lack of emotions from us. Lack of emotion? What are you talking about? Of course I have feelings. As a matter of fact, you've wounded me very deeply with that accusation. What's going on? All of a sudden I'm getting an overwhelming happy reading. Huh? But he's literally crying across the river over there. Oops, my mistake. How about this? Ah! Yikes, now he's angry all of a sudden? What's he trying to pull?
Let it not. It would appear our friend is not completely without emotion.
Which is, why, that's not how that works.
It's just as it says in Dr. Site's profile of the Phantom. The subject has a unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation.
Oh, I get it. So he has some emotions, right?
Precisely, which seems to wonder why you can't sense any emotions from him at all. I believe it's mostly because he is controlling his emotions.
Very good, Prosecutor Blackwell. You are correct. As a result of my daily training. A very important skill for us undercover agents, you know? But more like for a spy, seriously. But I wonder why he suddenly showed several strong emotions. Wait a minute, I think I know. I sense there's a feeling you're trying to hide with your exaggerated emotions, detective. I feel like I'm trying to hide, that's a good one. Yeah, the ones who have been saying that in the fandom because I don't have any emotions. I'm just trying to show you the range of emotions that you possess. Then you have no drugs to be analyzing you, right? No, analyze away. But I'll state it again. I am not the Phantom. And before when the analysis will have no effect. Because you're about to see what an application can really do. Okay, so there still shouldn't be any emotions. Oh, god damn it. What the hell? Oh. Okay. What? This is... Okay, is this what I get? Is this what I get for complaining that the Moon Matrix has been too easy the whole game? Still an awesome mechanic, by the way. I love the Moon Matrix. But it's always been baby easy. Is this what I get? Is this my punishment? Is this what they do to people who say that the Moon Matrix is easy? They do this bullshit? Okay. So... let me guess. We have to figure out... like, so if all the motions are going to be going at once... then we just have to figure out which one doesn't make any sense for it to be. Oh boy, this is... oh dear. Okay, me the Phantom, no way. Oh, I don't even know where to start with this. Alright, let's do it one at a time. You'd be surprised to be accused, sure. Maybe slightly scared and sad about it. Angry that people are accusing you. Happy that you're gonna get away with it. Okay. Fine. I'm so sad. I told you I have emotions. You're sad. I'm just gonna expect happiness to be consistent. Because you're so overjoyous about that you're gonna get away with it. Still revealing from the surprise the last time. And still sad. Because, you know, you're literally crying right now. Angry. How dare you accuse me of being someone who would kill over a moon rock. Okay. So you'd be happy. They all keep fluctuating. I can't spot anything. They all keep turning on and off. Wait. Not all of them. Not all of them. Sadness isn't going away this time. That's the only one that's staying there. I found it. I found the one emotion you are truly feeling. What? Hidden in the middle of that chaotic storm, I saw one emotion that never disappeared. When you talk about the moon rock. You felt a fear that wouldn't fade. Fear, huh?
I fear that a man without hardly an emotion feels.
And it was a response to that moon rock. Detective Void, I presume you feel fear because of the moon rock because your identity will be... I don't know why, but it's the only thing that makes any sense. Of course, that's it. Detective Void, I think I know why you would feel fear. You are afraid the moon rock will show and somehow reveal your identity.
If there's any word, it will be killed immediately. That's certainly enough to make even the Phantom feel afraid.
Me afraid? I don't know what you're talking about. So there really is something about the moon rock that will reveal his identity? Apparently so. Wait a minute. Maybe the Phantom didn't so much steal the moon rock, but more like had to take it with him? Well, why would he have had to do that? The only reason you would have to take it with you would be if there was something that was on it that would... Oh! Oh! Wait! That's it! That's it right here! Okay. So... Athena stabbed Bobby, right? And if that's true, and he had it on him, had the moon rock, then maybe some of the blood from being stabbed got onto the moon rock. And if you analyze that blood, then it proves who he is. Right? And you know what? That's it. It's in here, right? Guarantee you it's in here. This was supposed to be destroyed with the Hat 1 capsule, but it wasn't. Guarantee that's what it is. Guarantee you that's what it is. Press it because there was something on it that would reveal its true identity. What? Where do you think you're going? Also, there's a giant ass hole in the ceiling. Your grappling hook's not that strong. Man, I'm not going anywhere. This is me. Was he going to use that? Do we have to watch the thing try to get away? How many more of those toys do you have? And where can I get some myself? Detective Fulbright, you will enter honestly to this court right now. Why do you feel fear in connection with the moon rock? In just we trust, not emotions, Mr. Lawyer. Evidence is everything. I'm afraid because I'm afraid. Don't make me laugh. Ah! And what was that just now? But all human beings have hearts and experience emotions. Sometimes analyzing things from the psychological perspective is the best way to find the truth. Eh! It's always a waste of time. All your efforts of analysis serve no purpose. And now, in the talking to the law, nobody will believe your claim that it's effective. In an era where evidence is fabricated, do you truly expect millions to be accepted as proof? And where exactly is your proof that I fear the moon rock anyway? Well, I admit I don't have any conventional proof. I still say that examining a person's heart has its merits. Oh, really? Then why don't you listen carefully with those special leads of yours? Listen to the voices of the hearts and the people in the gallery. All I hear is distrust. As you can see, the people are on my side, because all I see is a strange little girl using a weird little machine. But something I'm using analytical psychology to falsely accuse people. Uh-oh, he's got Athena doubting herself. Miss Sykes' analytical psychology is breathing life into the courtroom. It has freed the hearts of many witnesses and has been key in getting to the truth. Ah, what nonsense. Your Honor, the defense's claim is a false one. I don't feel any kind of fear when it comes to the moon rock.
I see. Very well, I will give the opinion of the court. In the trial, I don't feel that a person's emotions are quite as compelling as actual evidences.
But Your Honor... Seriously, nobody believes you when you're trumped up charges.
However, I do believe the Slice's analysis can contribute to making the truth clear. I have seen her do this firsthand several times already.
Surely you're jest. So does this mean you will accept my findings in this trial, Your Honor?
Yes, I believe your claim, Miss Sykes. However, I think there is merit in examining why the witness feels fear in regard to the moon rock. That is the court's opinion on the matter.
Then that's a win for me. No, a win for analytical psychology. Now, Mr. Phantom, you will tell this court the reason for your fear. Analytical psychology, my fear is fine. I'll show you precisely why those abstract things can be considered evidence. Yo. I have a fear what I thought about the moon rock because it reminds me of the Phantom. I'm very afraid of it because he took my family hostage. Yeah, sure thing, buddy. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all. I'd say there's a different reason, because if the blood got on the moon rock, that would prove a very big problem for you. There you have it. Now do you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock?
Sure, you sound convincing enough. But so does any stupid con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence.
Huh.
The Phantom is like the mist. No flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it, right, don't you? Were your deductive reasoning in the body of events before us? Let us send this miserable phantom fairer to the other world together.
You and I, Prosecutor Blackwell. We have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the courts.
Indeed, by coming forth, you now allow the phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust of my murder conviction.
I bear part of the responsibility as well, for being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result, neither of which was your fucking fault, which is, don't remind me of that bullshit that was that. Two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the Dark Age of the law.
Then it is also our burden to cut away the foul circle we created, is it not? Until all that remains is the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people.
Just understanding? Ha! Fragile ideas of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't control the each other, which is exactly why illusion is so enticing.
Objection!
Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies always. My fears of the moon rock. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I know exactly why you're afraid of the moon rock, and it's because of this. And the blood that could have gotten on it.
Objection!
Detective Forward, I assume you know what this is. Of course, that's a knife and the Phantom used to kill Clay Terran. That's right, and the exact same type of knife. Miss Sykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. Miss Sykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got on the moon rock, and he was afraid that if the blood was analyzed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from the crime scene. You mean if we're better than analysis now, we know where the Phantom is? Ah, I suppose so. Unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so, but I'm certain I can explain what happened to it in great detail. You can? Of course not. You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. Ah, let's go with this fully brief zone.
Oh, the infamous soul of the Biggerling bluff. It is an inch without compare. Come now, ready with me and show us just how finely it cuts.
Your Honor, this is an outrage. Oh, I mean, this is an outrage. Ah!
Go on, right, Dunu.
Let's start with something that's been on bothering me for a while now. The culprit's supposed to remove the moon rock from the lab. But in this video, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you're right. But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. Security was super tight at Space Center back then. All that in spite of the Space Center having its very strict security those days, all personal effects were examined thoroughly coming or going. Couldn't even smuggle a winter leaf through those checkpoints. Does this mean this moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center? And they would just never claim that's impossible. And why is that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab, but the moon rock they were found. Ah, how can I forget about that?
A sad but true fact. We have still no grasp on how it was done. But the phantom in the moon rock vanished into the night.
I have an idea. No. I have an idea of where it went. It probably in the capsule. Phantom made the rock disappear without physically moving itself, but how? It must have been away. Think, Phoenix, think. I have an idea. I have a very good idea. Yep, there it is. You see it right there? How the moon vanished from the robotics lab. I know. Wait, me. Oh, me. Pick me. I know. Yes, I can. Your Honor. What? Oops, sorry, I mean, what?
It's like I still have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock with this thing?
Take that!
That's a Hope capsule, right? The one that went up with the Hat Run rocket?
He couldn't carry the rocket out, but he couldn't leave it in the sun to be found either. So there was only one safe place to stash it. The Hope capsule was there in the lab that day.
Yes, and the team that must have loaded it onto the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, then the moon rock would have been launched up into space along with the rocket.
Preposterous, it would mean that for the past 7 years, the moon rock was...
Exactly, the Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew how. It was out there in the depths of space, aboard the Hope space probe. What? That's right, he planned for the moon rock to be turned into cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. But Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot. The Hope space probe sailed off safely on its mission to return 7 years later, with the capsule in tow. If we analyze the blood on the moon rock, it should make one thing crystal clear: that you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. So we kill Clay so we get back the... Yep, I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the hat too, but at the same time he also had to retrieve the evidence of a crime scene 7 years ago. That's why he went to boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rock with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do to just escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Clay was done everything he could to stop Fulbright. Probably hung on that castle while all he was worth till his very last breath. Boy, he's really out of whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit to it all now? I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. I'm not the Phantom. The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes, a trap.
I'm not sure what to think. I suppose that the Phantom is a spy with assault. A trap is not another question. But in that case, you could say anything is a trap. That's an trap. I've been famed in tricking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order.
Silence.
For the investigation, well, I probably no escape. But no more, I will bring you to justice myself if I must, here and now.
I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, son of Blackwell. Hey, you guys aren't really... Edgeworth! Whose clothes are clipping through the witness stand.
It looks like I made it just in time.
Edgeworth!
I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I've uncovered some very crucial facts.
Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity?
You might say that. I started by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. All three, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition systems, but none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright.
That's not good.
But there's more. I've got to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, prosecutor backward. You must brace yourselves.
Uh-oh.
The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead.
Oh? Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
As an unidentified body that was found a year ago has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. Then does this mean? Yes, that man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright.
An imposter?
This man, who in the world is he?
Enough of your trickery. If you will not reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you.
Oh? What the...
His face!
Ah, look what you did to my mask.
Well, my mask? What is the meaning of this, witness?
Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now. Okay, Mission Impossible style. What? That makes even less sense. No, that's just no way. I don't buy that even for a second.
Silence.
Of course, my first time was aboard the hat, so wanted it to be destroyed.
I mean, didn't I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change identity. Well, I can be anyone I want. Nosifast has the Phantom Psych profile right here. If we compile a Psych profile, then you can compare the results. It will prove that you're the Phantom. Okay, let me guess. It's gonna be Professor Means now? I voiced those words. So, if he could do this, then why didn't he, like, disguise himself as Phoenix, or Athena, or Apollo, or Edgeworth, or anybody? That would have helped him out a whole hell of a lot. Huh? How could you?
Now do you see now how powerful the end justifies the means can be?
Silence.
How pathetic. You can't even speak without wearing another man's face.
But that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all.
Or perhaps it really is the case that you don't even know who you are anymore. What must you see when you look in the mirror, Mr. Phantom? Not an awful lot, I wager.
That's right, I don't know who I am. I am always living as someone else in my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like. Even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotion, and soul. I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss.
What's with this guy? Is he even still human?
And now we resume with your lesson, Professor Wright.
Huh?
If you were to analyze the blood in the moon rock, you'd remember the Phantom.
Yes.
Your claims of phantom trap won't work anymore.
Decisive evidence in the Hope Capsule.
I think I'll just do that. Get ready, because the Hope Castle is about to steal your... Oh, that... But, okay, but there's surely fragments, right? Like, surely it didn't destroy everything. There's probably still some fragments left. So that's realizing the courtroom was blown up. It was all the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe has really reached the dead end after coming all this way. Has the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? I seriously doubt that. There's probably something in here. The evidence will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof, or at least a prayer. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright.
At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Dono?
I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. That was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. And yet, is it really gone without a trace? Probably not. Yeah, there probably is still some tiny little fragment.
Yes, and you can see the stolen moonwalk there too.
Very well, Stray, let's see your proof.
What evidence about the proof defense? Well, I mean, this thing probably didn't destroy everything. Fragments are being analyzed. Yeah, there it is, right there. There's still, yeah, hold it. Yeah, there's still something left.
What, isn't it the bomb that blew up the courtroom and the moonwalk along with it? Are you saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity?
Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken specifically, this right here, if I can move the stupid hand. Let's take a look at the newspaper article. Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moonwalk, and when we look at the photo of the bomb fragments, see how there's a rock-like object with the same coloration?
Oh my, I guess I see it.
It would seem that the moonwalk was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on the blood will prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom.
Unbelievable.
But that's impossible.
That's supposed to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock. Let's have this fragment tested straight away.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, Wright.
Right enough, contact the police department and immediately order the testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what do the test results show?
There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
DNA testing revealed. Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed.
They confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they?
There's no use trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom.
Objection!
Huh? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, I didn't say a... Tell me he just described himself, or just disguised himself as Phoenix. Mother of God, okay. That's... Oh boy, yep, okay. It's a pretty good objection too, don't you think? Wow, oh boy, this is, now he's me?
So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright?
Huh? No, not really, Your Honor.
No, not you, Mr. Wright. I meant the witness to Mr. Wright.
But could this trial get any more insane? Okay, yeah, this is a bit too much. How can you be sure the pieces are the same remark that were at the robotics lab? Can you explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had blood on it, but how can you know that they're just moving? Well, that's easy. Just compare it to the earring. Compare it to Athena's earring, and then boom, if they match, then there you go. It's the moon rock if that's the case. Don't be absurd. Just compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article, or everything seems the same. They have the exact same coloration.
Objection!
But maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be. Okay, well then just compare it to Athena's earring. Problem solved. But you can't deny it's a possibility.
Objection!
But your blood was found on one of the fragments. Paul, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being upon a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but Sylvia's guard tripped and fell into her. Oh, how wonderfully convenient. Even you must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And I suppose it's not completely out of the question. Ah, I see you're striking a swim, Mr. Wright. I thought that the worst of times when lawyers had to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We could ask them to verify if they were from the moon rock in the lower lab or not. I'm sorry, but I was afraid this isn't going to be possible. And why not? Oh, please fragments to Roy, you guard to say that you need a sample. Oh, but we have that in the form of your earring. No, it does. You literally have an earring that's made out of the moon rock. There is though. No, but there actually is though.
So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right, it was such a valuable rock too. Shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong, it's not completely lost. There's another piece of it right here by our side, a shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around, the final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. We do? We do, even if the person holding it doesn't realize it yet. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honor, he's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. The piece of evidence that shows the original moonrock isn't completely lost is this. Athena, you meant to know it, but your mother left you with a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing, you don't have anything of that kind. Oh, but I do, though. Oh, but we do. We have evidence that will finally corner you because we have a moonrock of our own. Yeah. Oh! You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left for her daughter. An item that Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seen to her daughter, that fragment of her love... will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is the defensive sample of the moon rock.
Take that!
That's your sample? This earring that Miss Sykes always wears. It was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time? It was right here all along? It will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt the original origin of the fragment in this photo. Since the test results that shows that the blood in the fragment was yours, then that means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. And the identity you tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all my emotions behind years ago.
Objection!
If a human being feels fear, you simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust. And I suppose you do? I didn't have anyone to support me at first either. I couldn't feel the fear. I couldn't face the fear inside me. I couldn't get over the trauma of my past. Like I said, I don't feel fear.
Objection!
Then you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Run away from myself? Hahaha, I can never run away from myself. When there's nothing inside, nothing at all.
Objection!
I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you don't understand, but people have emotions, it's just a fact of life, and some people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another, so they can gain the strength to face themselves with the things that are at their bleakest. Without trusted others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? The fear inside me is this? No. I'm afraid. I'm scared. I feel fear. You can't outrun yourself. Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. Oh my god, that shot was incredible. All three attorneys pointing their finger at the Phantom. As anticlimactic of a villain as this has been and as drawn out as this finale has been, that was an awesome shot. And I can't skip the text anymore, which is kind of annoying. So you haven't really anything yet on us. My true face. I know how when I feel my face. Is this my face? Is it?
No, that's not it. No.
Also, how many freaking Mission Impossible masks do you have? Oh, God. Alright then. A sniper attacking this very courtroom chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how is Detective Phobos, his imposter doing?
He's a lucky fellow. The bird doesn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying.
Well, that was fortunate for all of us.
The analysis of the final piece of evidence right there now submitted is in. The composition of Miss Sykes' ring is in a fragment with the blood on it match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moonrock in question. The murders and bombings of the Space Center, both past and present. The bombing of Courtroom Number 4 and all his other crimes as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all these things, Spider-Man as the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a few other things we wish you to tell us about, after all.
Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But before I do, will the defendant please return to her proper place?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know how the hell she was able to stay up there for as long as she was.
Now then, this court finds the defendant Athena Sykes
Not guilty. Oh boy, that was something. That was definitely something. Court is adjourned. December 29th, 12 p.m. Discord defendant limit number 5.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick!
Thank you, Pearls. Thank you for being there for Athena.
It's the least I could do! Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you.
Trucy, are you alright? Are you hurt?
I'm fine, Daddy.
I was doing magic tricks for the other sauces to keep our spirits. Aww, that's sweet. That's our Trucy for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe. Edgeworth!
Right, I feel you get another great debt of gratitude.
Edgeworth.
We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you.
Ah, come on, Edgeworth, what are you talking about? You're the ones who have been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you're the one who gave Blackwell permission to serve as prosecutor, right?
Yes, well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial.
Well, we never would have won this trial without you. It was your help at Chief Prosecutor that was the key to its successful conclusion. Besides, it was you I saw to it I got my interns back, wasn't it?
So you figured it out, did you?
Yeah, getting my lessons back went just a little too smoothly, you know? Oh, so you mean he could have helped you get your attorney's badge back? Well, thanks to Destiny's writers for punching another hole in Apollo Justice, even though there were already like 8,000 ones. Like, yes, Edgeworth should have been able to help Phoenix get his badge back immediately, and demonstratively did help him get it back, but it's just like, nah. It took him 8 years to do that, apparently. Should have much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well,
Well, they owed you a few favors.
hey Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the dark age of the law to an end?
Even the darkest nights turn down dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of the mistrust towards the court system should be swept away.
You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth, won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that bro just keep getting deeper and deeper.
So I should smile more, I'll think about it.
The complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals. Speaking of which...
I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas.
Well, I knew if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied, and I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time. Aww. Just barely, but I still made it. Atta girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out.
Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth thanks to you.
Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that.
It was never my intention to throw my life away, but some things in this world are more important than your own life.
Like what?
My honor bound duty to protect with my life, my mentor's most beloved treasure.
Huh? That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through. Well, looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. Took all of us together to pull it off. And that final shot was freaking incredible. Nothing will ever top the shot where Phoenix and Mia simultaneously point at Godot. That shot has so much meaning behind it, it'll never be topped. But that was still pretty damn cool. I'm a lucky guy. My office is the best, most capable lawyers around. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm going to work extra hard to make it for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's head in for the Right at Anything Agency. Who's going to try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. Simon is free thanks to Mr. Wright. But there are so many people out there who need our help. You're right, and I'll be needing you both to help them. We still have a long way to go. Get ready, you two. We won a major victory, but the war is far from over. There are still people out there who are suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. If we ever hope to fully bring the Dark Age of the law to okay, so that's gonna be the third game then. The third game in the new trilogy is about, like, completely eradicating illegal injustice from the world. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles. If you say Elton's noodles, I swear to God. Nothing like a, you did it. You did it. Why'd you do it? I don't know, but you did it. That's how it works at the writing agency, right, Mr. Wright? Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude for the people for their greatest work.
In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I'm going to work on my bowl of noodles.
It's been a while since we've had a from Phoenix.
I have an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everyone involved in the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. Who knew you'd grow to be such a generous gentleman?
Guys, under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Oh, it's gonna be objection. Only if I get to join in.
Hey, no fair. I want to say it too.
Okay, here we go.
Objection!
Okay. They tried. They really tried with this one. I could feel the effort was there to bring the series back to its former glory. And it almost worked. It fell short on a couple points, but overall the decisions turned out well. So, all right, first things first, let's get a big one out of the way first. The transition between 2D and 3D, it's rough. It's really rough. This new art style just does not jive well with the rest of the series. Like, yes, the ability to, like, look around a 3D investigation environment, that was cool. That was insanely cool. But, it's just, the overall design of everything just doesn't feel like it belongs. Because, like, Apollo and Athena look fine, I guess. Edgeworth actually looked pretty good. But Phoenix's main model for when you're in the courtroom just looked so wrong. And that the actual camera angles were cool. But after a while, I realized that a part of what made the original trilogy work so well was the simplicity of its graphics. The 2D illustrations, both for characters and backgrounds, were beautifully drawn, but these just feel so wrong. And gameplay-wise, I mean, some of those investigations last way too long. Primarily the monsters Turnabout, and they were just way too long. And in general, they all felt way too linear. They definitely could have condensed them a little bit without losing any of the information or some of the humor. And Athena's Moon Matrix, look, it's baby easy. We already knew that. It's a super cool idea, and it's still really cool to use it, but it's not hard. Like, conducting a therapy session mid-court to help draw out information from the suspect or from the witness is very creative, but it was still just too simple. Like, it's not hard to spot a contradiction, like, the killer appeared, but you're happy about it. What a coincidence. This doesn't make sense. They try to make it, like, admittedly, they did try to make it a little more complex as the game progressed, but it just, Simon Says. Literally, Simon Says is what this mechanic is, which is funny since Apollo constantly made fun of Blackwell for playing Simon Says. And it was also really annoying that they spent 6 years building up to the Moon Matrix every single time. Like, I get it. Just let me pinpoint the emotion already. I get it. And who exactly loved that perceivability so much that they brought it back for this game? Like, admittedly, they increased the area in which you could see things a little bit. And what was really nice is the fact that we couldn't perceive during most of the trials because of Taka, at least until this episode. But it's still a stupid mechanic that forces you to be perfect in your first trials. You have to listen to the testimony again in approximately 1 letter an hour. And just add a feature to progress through it like a regular testimony. I don't know why they haven't done that. But the most frustrating thing was the fact that the game basically told you outright what evidence to present at every opportunity. For the most part, that didn't affect me because I was able to figure it out and piece the clues together before those hints showed up. But I did notice them afterwards, and they kind of softened the satisfaction of figuring it out. It's like, yes, I figured this out. I feel satisfied. Oh wait, the game's just gonna tell me all the way, and it's just gonna tell me all that in a second anyway. So what does it matter? And like they made the game overall way easier, and I don't know why. Okay, now let's talk about characters. So the 3 main attorneys. Oh, this f***er again. It's just, once again, they didn't show the development they needed to explain how they went from Hobo Phoenix to Ace Attorney again. Like, pick a line and stick to it. You can't keep flip-flopping all over the place with this character like you're flicking a light switch. Now, mind you, I know you're gonna say, you're a hypocrite, you didn't like Phoenix, now you don't like Ace Attorney, what gives? Hear me out. Pretending Apollo Justice never existed is generally a very good idea, but when you're running with their continuous story, you have to try a little bit harder than that. And to be totally fair, if I was told to write the sequel to Apollo Justice, the very first thing I'd want to do is call up the writers of that game and say, by the way, fuck you guys, and then hang up. Or if it was the publisher's fault, I want to call them instead and say, fuck you for putting me in this position, and then hang up. I completely understand that the writers of this game were in an impossible position. They had a completely broken world to work with for the sequel. They had a rigged jury system, a laughably unlikable protagonist, and a legendary hero who had been mercilessly eviscerated. So, their choices were figure out a way to salvage that storyline, or skip ahead a long time to try to fix what the game broke and make the game more similar to the original trilogy. And if I was in their position, after I finished my phone call with either the writers or the publishers, I would have continued this story. Okay, no, if I had absolute freedom, I would just completely erase Apollo Justice from existence by retconning it, and then either redo it, or make a new Phoenix Wright game that picks up sometime after Trials and Tribulations. But assuming that it has to be a sequel to Apollo Justice, and the story is set in stone, and that I cannot change it, and I would have continued that story. It would have been really hard, I would have needed a lot of time to write it, but I would have figured out a way to fix what Apollo Justice broke without just instantly Thanos snapping the game's events away. Like, they tried a little bit with Edgeworth saying, like, hey, you can, I'm gonna get your attorney's badge back, but that honestly almost just, like, made him more holes, because if that's the case, then why didn't he do it in the first place? Just, like, where did the Mason system go? Where did the jury system go? I don't know, it's a mess. But that's where the negative aspects of the game come to a screeching halt, because the rest of it was pretty damn good. First off, Athena, her story, phenomenal. That is how you introduce a new main character. What they did is they looked at how the last game introduced Apollo, then did the exact opposite, and made her such a likable, competent person who I absolutely loved playing as. She was so awesome, and like I said, her moon magic was incredible. Her relationship with the Space Center and Blackwell, speaking of the devil, here he is now, she's just all around fantastic. The constant development she had with Blackwell, and the connection they shared was just simultaneously heartwarming and heartbreaking, and it all culminated in Turnabout for Tomorrow, which I'll get to the story soon, but as far as strictly in terms of their relationship, it was a fantastic climax for the two of them. And then, of course, we have Apollo Justice, because everybody's favorite little shit from his debut game is back for more, but you know what? They actually tried this time. They put so much more effort into his character this time around, as they actually cared about him. Like, it's strange, right? Like, he got more development in this game than he did in his own. Was enough to, hey, Edgeworth! Blackwell's created has brought all manner of evils in the prosecutor's office to light. It seems solving that case has stalled the chill of winter into the warmth of spring. Now I owe Wright yet another debt of gratitude, but I will repay him one day. You can trust in that. That's another third game setup. Like, so, was this game enough to fix Apollo's abhorrent or non-existent character development from the last game? Actually, almost? Like, he actually showed genuine care for people around him in this game? Like when he was giving Starbucks a pep talk, that was fantastic character work. Him talking about when he first met Clay and the moment where he puts on that moment where he puts on the eye patch so that he doesn't perceive Athena's lies is 1,000 times more character development than the entirety of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Like, the way that they interwove all three main attorney storylines together was beautiful. I don't know how they did it, but it was fantastic. I was so impressed with that. And the story... Okay, so Turnabout Countdown was simple, sure, but it was still a great way to introduce Athena, reintroduce Phoenix, sort of, and present the concept of the Dark Age of the Law, continuing off from the last game. I had no idea how important that courtroom bombing was going to end up being in those last two cases. The Monster Turnabout was still the weakest case of the game, no doubt. I think it wasn't strictly bad, just painfully mediocre and uninteresting. And however, that being said, the ending and Apollo's chemistry with Athena sort of saved it from being unplayable. Like, one of the best parts about this game, like I said, the characters and their connections with each other and the stories they shared and how they all tied together was phenomenal. But specifically Apollo and Athena's bond and their trust and the chemistry they had was absolutely incredible, and it definitely saved that case. Turnabout Reclaimed had some low points, but overall it was fantastic. The backstory of the aquarium became super interesting with the torpedo system, and then tackling a case with animals turned out to be such a heartfelt story where every single character had a happy ending. Turnabout Academy was surprisingly outstanding. Athena got her chance to shine like a diamond by leading the defense, and the story of those three friends brought the biggest smile on my face as she shoved the evidence in Professor Mean's face. Cosmic Turnabout started out a little rough immediately, but it got better and better as the case went on, and both that case and this one had an awesome setting for mystery with the Space Center. But, so, Turnabout for tomorrow. Alright, look, let's be as blunt as possible and break this down bit by bit. So the first investigation had a lot of highlights, like Maya's letter, Pearl's return, Edgeworth's return, pretty much the whole thing, except for that major jump the shark moment with the whole robot uprising nonsense. Like, it's like, I can't even be mad about it because it was just so silly, but, like, come on, really? Robot uprising? I mean, it was, fortunately, it almost immediately made up for that, by having Phoenix and Edgeworth face off against each other again in an intense battle to prove both Athena and Blackwell innocent. That was incredible and so satisfying when we finally pulled it off. And then comes the reveal of the Phantom. So, Apollo accusing Athena, that worked well because of all the character work that was building up to that moment, but the actual reveal itself, there was just no foreshadowing whatsoever. Not a single clue or behavioral trait even kind of indicated him to be the Phantom. Post-credit scene?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be
T-minus
fine.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Everyone's watching him take off into space. That's so goddamn good.
Mr. Starbuck!
You'll be fine. Just believe in yourself.
The moon's closer than you think!
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't have made it back into space if it wasn't for you.
All right.
What a great way to end it. That was such an awesome post-credit scene. Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache, honesty as deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us all up towards a brighter tomorrow. Damn. That was good. Specifically that scene was great. Yeah, so what was I? Oh yeah, the Phantom. There was just no foreshadowing or anything. Like there were no hints. There was no setup for that. Like usually I can go back and say, "Oh, they set that up. I didn't even see it." But here there was just nothing. No setup for that whatsoever. So that's not satisfying when you see it. Like for the reveal of who Godot was. They've been hinting toward it the entire time, dropping little clues, so that when it was revealed, it's like you can think back and say, "Oh, that's why, oh, and that's why." That's smart, but there was nothing like that this time. And just everything involved in bringing him down, except that final shot with all 3 attorneys. It's wildly anticlimactic. It's like they were trying to be super dramatic, but it just ended up all falling flat on its face. So like the final case had a lot of high highs and a lot of low lows. So, I don't know. Overall, the game was leagues better than Apollo Justice. It's not a very high bar, but still. The switch to 3D was a little rough around the edges. Investigations for some cases felt unnecessarily long and drawn out. They were also a lot more linear in general. The game as a whole felt much easier thanks to the ridiculous amount of hints they gave you. And the immediate reversion of Phoenix's character was just far too jarring. You should have hinted at how much better it was. And overall, it just kind of came to an anticlimactic conclusion. I don't know. However, this is a big however, the 3D investigation elements, the new development they gave to Apollo and Athena's individual characters, as well as the chemistry they developed together, the utilization of Edgeworth in the story, and the fantastic cases absolutely saved this game. The characters were beyond impressive above all else, because this game manages to weave the arcs of those 3 main attorneys together seamlessly, and gives each of them a significant amount of development. Like, this game as a whole isn't perfect, and all the elements probably clash together result in, like, an average rating, maybe slightly above average. But the actual characters and most of the stories are absolutely on par with the original trilogy, and that is a very high bar to have surpassed. And it's just... I was pleasantly surprised with this game. I mean, we had nowhere to go but up, sure, but still. Was it perfect? No, but I'm glad I played it. You know, it had some lows, and really low lows, but it had some pretty strong highs as well, so I can say that I was satisfied with this playthrough. Now... next up is Spirit of Justice, and it seems like that's going to be the finale of Apollo's story, the finale of the whole legal injustice and Dark Age of the Law thing. It's going to all come to a close, so I don't know, I guess we'll see. I mean, this game was better than Apollo Justice, but still wasn't anything outstanding. Like, it still can't compete with the original trilogy. The characters and story can, but overall, no, not even kind of comparable. Anyway, Spirit of Justice starts up next week, so that'll be interesting. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned next up to catch you all next week for the start of Phoenix Wright Attorney Spirit of Justice. Goodbye.